Hey everyone, welcome to our 100th episode of Wholistic Hearts. I cannot believe it has been 100 episodes. You guys, this is incredible. Just thinking past or back into January of 2020 before the world went differently. I felt a nudge in my spirit to start a podcast called Wholistic Hearts. And it's so fun. I actually went back and just listened to our very first couple of episodes and how different and how far we have come to from everything from editing to our sweet little munchkins doing our intro and outro and really getting clearer and clearer on what the show is hopefully bringing you each week. And it's really nothing short of just the Holy Spirit being faithful and following through with what He has wanted for the show. It really all started because I literally felt like my brain was constipated with ideas and what the Lord had taught me and all of the beautiful just layers and layers and layers of revelation that He gave me, and really wanting to share my heart with moms and with dads and people who are hungry for more, especially in their Christian walk, that are tired of checking those boxes and they want to pursue the adventure of what our faith can be like. And so that's what it was born out of. I wanted to talk about my experience as a believer, first and foremost, and how to encounter Jesus on the daily. And I wanted to bring the vast array of wholeness and wellness that the Lord has taught me over the last couple of decades of mind, body, and spirit, and that holistic living and wholehearted living. And so that's where Wholistic Hearts was birthed from. So if you are a new listener, I encourage you to go back to the beginning because there were some fire episodes right off the bat. Some of the interviews that were done were incredible, and I felt so honored to interview so many incredible people in the faith and in the nutrition world and continue to do so. So I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for giving your time and your energy to come into this space with me. And I encourage you to not just take it in your ears, as you listen, but also that it would spark something within you. It would spark questions. It would spark something in your spirit to ask, okay, Jesus, I'm curious now. What does this look like? And it's so fun because in the midst of all of that, there have been many of opportunities for just connecting with you as listeners through my courses, the Re-Engage Your Heart course, which is still available. It's online. This course was created last year in the midst of the pandemic. I really felt like the Lord wanted me to put out there 5 ways to re-engage your heart. And this was birthed out of a place of I was just numb and felt like that these tools were so helpful in my journey of my faith journey. And it didn't just have to look like a Bible study or a quiet time, that there were 5 ways, and there's so many more ways, y'all, that we can re-engage our hearts. So that was one course that I was able to put out. And then my Pride and Joy, the Heavenly Commission, which is going to come back around again as a group coaching course. That is the foundation of where the Lord has taken me in my identity and my mission and my goals. And I share it with you and how to listen for that kingdom personalized identity from the Father Himself and the Holy Spirit. And as a life coach, I am able to bring in more and more as the years go on. So I'm excited to continue to offer that and add more and more value every time we do it. So be on the lookout for that this coming January. It's going to be launching again. And and then the one-on-one coaching with my listeners. The greatest gift is to come alongside you and to encourage you. There have been some powerful moments with my clients that I will forever and eternally be grateful to be a part of. To see people do the work and to be brave and to go there with your heart and to be tender and to walk out with clarity and to process with you and to help you achieve your intentional goals and to empower you to bring freedom into your life. There's nothing greater. So I just want to say thank you for all of these opportunities that I get to be a part of your life, whether it's the 100 episodes of Wholistic Hearts or the courses or the one-on-one coaching. I just want to say thank you. So I was able to bring on some listeners that would join me in just celebrating, because I really do think it's very important to celebrate what God has done, what we have committed to doing, and to really hear how Wholistic Hearts has impacted them. So I hope you enjoy this unique episode where I get to interview my listeners and just ask what has impacted them, what has been their favorite episodes, how has it impacted their faith. And it's really fun to hear just the different styles of episodes that everybody loves. So I hope you enjoy this show as much as I enjoyed just hearing everybody's hearts. And I cannot wait to do more. I am thrilled to be able to be behind this mic and to share my story, and in hopes that it empowers you and encourages you to live that transformational Christian life that we are called to live. So, without further ado, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to Wholistic Hearts. Today is a very special day. We are recording the 100th episode of Wholistic Hearts with our fellow listeners. We have moms on the call. We have my mom on the call. We have friends, and I'm just so excited to celebrate with you guys and honor the 100. I cannot believe 100 episodes of Wholistic Hearts. So thank you guys for being on here and representing listeners who tune in. So thank you. Hello and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Everybody want to say hi? Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I wanted to bring just some people on just to share what has moved them in this episode or in this podcast. And as a host myself, this started out of, I felt like I could not do it. It was many years of being behind the scenes for another podcast, and I loved that. I was very comfortable in that position, kind of being the behind the scenes and making sure that guests were taken care of and questions were asked that probably most people would want to ask, and really felt like the Lord was like, hey, Kristen, it's time for you to use your voice and to share all that you've walked through, not only as a producer, but also as a woman after God's own heart, and what that looked like for me. And so that was the turning point for me, was to be brave and step out in front of the microphone and share my own journey, and also bring in so many people that have affected my journey and the call and the just discovering who God really, really is. And So I will start with my favorite episode, and then maybe you guys can share your favorite episode. One of my favorite trilogy episodes was talking about Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I loved having some of the key people that really transformed my heart in my journey of mind, body, and spirit, in learning and discovering who the Father was, and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And so I got to bring on Jenny, which you guys have heard on here a couple times, and Eugene Lunning, who is Jenny's husband, and then Holy Spirit, which I know, Dar, you were on an episode where we talked a little bit about that journey. And Kim Bates was the Holy Spirit leader in that one. So all of those episodes are definitely what impacted me the most, because I feel like you can never learn enough. Like, it just makes you hungry for more and more the more you discover who he is. So I would love to hear from you guys what your favorite episode was so far.
Well, I can start. I have a little one that I'm going to be chasing around, so I will jump in and get us going. I those are on the top of my list as well, but one that stands out to me is when you and Josh were doing a interview, and I think it was called like Expectations, or I forget the exact title, but it was about expectations and within marriage. And I just loved, well, it was, number one, really fun to just listen to the two of you go back and forth and let us in on probably what is like really honest conversations that the two of you often have. But I think that you guys just named really well, like, the internal dialogue that happens with expectations and the should statements that we have to navigate, not only within marriage, but in a job setting or within friendships or community. And that one just stands out to me because I feel like it was just so relatable for anyone. If you're single, or if you're in parenthood, or if you're empty nesters, like, there was something that you could take away, and I think apply to whatever season of life you're in. So yeah, that one stands out to me for sure.
Yeah. Those were fun. I was telling Joshua, I was like, I miss you. I need you back on the mic, because yes, he does offer so much wisdom. And I feel like I always learn so much just in the process of recording with him, of like, oh, I see where you're coming from now. So
totally.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That was an impactful one for sure. And one that was born out of lots of work and counseling and
absolutely.
Yeah,
you guys worked to get to where you are to be able to share the wisdom that you did. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anybody else?
Well, I'll jump in. I have to agree about the just the explaining about the Father, and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, how you just flesh that out and open that up. I think it was so meaningful. I know for me, that's been part of my journey, is having my view of God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit transform. And this has been such a great opportunity for people who have, kind of placed maybe a parent's head on God's head, or had no clue about the Holy Spirit. I think it was a beautiful way to introduce and to open up a new view of who they are, that more accurate view of who they are. So I loved that. I loved that whole series. Also loved the sessions with you and Joshua, just hearing you both work together. And I'll tell you, every episode, I have to say, the authenticity really speaks so loudly,
Mm.
whether it's whoever you're interviewing or it's you, but it comes through, and that is so meaningful.
Mm.
And then lastly, the encounters.
Mm.
They're just my favorite. They're absolutely my favorite. And again, it introduces and invites people to have a new experience, a personal experience
Mm-hmm.
that is you can't plan it, and you know it's a God thing. Whatever gift it is you get in the middle of this encounter, or what you hear or what you see in Jesus' eyes or in the Father's eyes, or just the enjoyment of the experience, it's healing, it's powerful. And as a counselor, I can tell you that is some powerful counseling work.
Mm.
If you get into a good encounter, it can heal all kinds of wounds.
Yeah.
So, yes, love it all.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would love to speak to the encounters. Is that was it is an honor to record encounters and to be able to share them, and then to hear and the bonus of hearing other people and their experiences, because those encounters are mine first, it's my little treasure that the Lord taught me through people like Dar and other people who have gone before us and been like, hey, this is an amazing tool, our imagination. But so when I say it's mine, I meant that story that I'm putting out there was already tucked into my spirit. And so it's such a gift to give it out and then be like, whoa, that is so cool that they're meeting the Trinity in some kind of capacity that's healing to them too. And what an honor. And coming from you, Mom, a counselor who's like, there's so much counseling in that. And that's all Holy Spirit for sure, to do that deep heart
The
work.
counselor.
Yes, the counselor.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely more encounters to come for sure. Yeah. What about you, Abby and Ashley?
I'll go.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations. 100 episodes. That's
Yay.
great. I know I had my one that stood out on me, and now I hear you guys talking. I'm like, oh yeah. I did love the trilogy because as I kind of told Kristen, I was kind of struggling to get back into my spiritual part of myself. And I'm like, yeah, who is the Holy Spirit? And that was just so great. It really stood out to me. But the one that sticks out to me the most, I think, is episode 43, where self-care.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us forget to take care of ourselves, and it really, I know I do. Especially as a mom, you always put everything before you. So that one really stood out to me. In fact, I've listened to it several times. And I wrote down something you said in that one was love. If you love others, but not yourself. And that just sticks with me because it's like, yes, if we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we take care of others?
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a good reminder. And that one just really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
But yes, I just appreciate the authentic. I can never say that word. How authentic you are, and it's just amazing. Your episodes, I love them. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Thanks, Abby.
Agreed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, self-care. I feel like that's a ever growing understanding of what that is. Yeah, I could do a whole nother episode on what I've learned in the last even just few months, especially with if you have noticed, there's a new kind of edition of Wholistic Hearts Moms in the Middle, where I hang and talk with other moms, and that has been so life-giving and enlightening, where we have talked about self-care a lot. And man, the stuff that these women offer and their understanding of self-care is such a deeper, more deep than what we think on the surface. Like it's more than just going to get your nails done. It's more than, just the once a month, whatever, I'm going to go get a massage. It's so much deeper. It is like what you're saying, Abby. It's learning to love ourselves well, and so that we can love others. And what does that look like for you is so different than what it would look like for me or for Ashley or Dar or Beverly. So yeah, absolutely. That's a good episode for sure.
That was like a perfect segue. Because the one that stuck out to me the most is the moms in the middle. I love the dynamic. I feel like I'm sitting in a group of friends and we're just on the couch and we're hanging out. And the one on boundaries recently, like I was almost finished with it, but I needed to hop in the shower to get some things going. And I was like, I want to keep listening, but I can't. So, I picked it up afterwards, but it was just that good that I didn't want to stop it and do what I needed to do, because I thought they each brought such a powerful piece and in such a relaxed way. It just felt so like they would be such deep gold nuggets that they would just kind of plop out there like it was no big deal. And I was like, wait, that was really profound.
Absolutely.
So I was also wishing I was like sitting, just writing, listening to it and taking notes instead of doing what I was taking a walk at first. But so that's when I love to do podcasting, is when I'm just like walking, doing chores, stuff like that. So
yeah.
But I was like, man, I need a piece of paper for this one.
Yeah, that was one of my questions I was going to ask you guys, was where and when is your favorite time to listen? I know, Ashley, you just said chores or walking.
Yep. Those are my favorite. Also when I'm in the car, if I'm by myself, which doesn't happen a ton.
I hear you. Yes. Anybody else have a fun way to listen?
Well, these days with an 18-month-old, it's truly whenever I can.
Right.
So it's doing the dishes, or like last night I actually was listening to a different podcast, like instead of once she goes to bed. Often I'm reading books, but that's also another favorite time to listen to podcasts. So it's a good way to wind down.
Yes, absolutely. Abby, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, I'll usually do it first thing in the morning, when it's quiet, or in the car at soccer practice.
Oh yeah. That's a great time. You're just sitting there.
Yes.
Yes.
Alone.
Yep. Yeah. I know for me, the joy of podcasting, because, that's my other side of my work, is that I'm a podcast manager. So it's always fun to hear like what is the most, or like where people listen, or because to me, a podcast feels so much more accessible than a radio show, or, because you can listen and stop when you need to take a shower, or there's a 18-month-old that needs your help and you can just press pause, or in between clients, or walking your dog, or soccer. So I love that. Well, I can't tell you enough how honored it is to know that what the Lord has really brought out of me and what he's taught me is impacting y'all. And I love hearing how he impacts you specifically, and that it gives you hope, or it brings you community, or brings you, oh, I'm not alone in this, that authenticity, or how it's impacting your counseling clients. To be on this side of it, it feels very overwhelmingly humbling of like, wow, I'm not really alone in this office. It's actually affecting other people. And that is really all to his glory, in what he's done. So, I wanted to share one last thing is one of the coolest parts of this podcast has been getting to know the listeners and to hear their stories. And I think that's why I wanted to do this episode, because I connect so well to story. And I've always had a passion for hearing other people's stories. And especially in like the online courses like the Heavenly Commission or Re-engage Your Heart, when we've done those live, hearing people's journey is impactful to me, and it affects me in my own journey. And in a selfish way, I love that because it teaches me. It's just a give and take. I learned so much from people that are sharing their lives with me and vice versa. So I just want to say thank you to anybody who has done the course, anybody who's reached out and shared how Wholistic Hearts has helped them. It really encourages me and it affects my faith. So thank you so much for listening and giving me time. Time is precious in this world, and being able to be a little voice inside your earlobes is or ear holes is quite the gift. So yeah. So thank you guys for joining me today on this 100th episode to celebrate. I celebrate Jesus in all of it. He is the reason why I'm here. So, all right. Thank you, ladies. Hey friend, are you tired of feeling dry in your time with the Lord? Do you desire depth and consistency and intimacy with Jesus himself? Do you want to feel that confidence that you know that you can encounter him each and every day in a way that leaves you refreshed and renewed? Friend, I absolutely hear you. I've been there before, and I know what it's like to check all the right boxes and feel like you're still longing for more. And it wasn't until I really discovered Holy Spirit and encountering him and began to learn how to integrate my whole being, my mind, my body, and my spirit, that I was able to gain confidence in my own God-given identity and therefore walk fully into my kingdom purpose and abundant life. And guess what the good news is? God has given me this ability to know the steps that need to happen in order for you to take responsibility for your life so that you can live empowered and transformed and integrated in life. And it's one of my absolute favorite things to do. Does this sound like something that you'd like to learn more about? I'd love to offer you a free, no strings attached personal coaching session, a one-on-one, to see if it would be a great fit for you to join me on a journey to discovering your God-given identity, your specific, unique way that you can connect with him. Reach out below. The link is below. Let's schedule a time, and I want to connect with you, friend.